Hello guys, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, in few hours time, everything that has to do with Tapswap will be paused. Now, paused or suspended. Now, if you go to the Tapswap community, now the information that is contained there states, important update. Tomorrow is your last chance to maximize your reward. Now, tomorrow is February 6th. Now, it went further to state the first stage of Tapswap will be completed, which means we may likely step into another stage. Now, the next one, they said app pause. Tapswap will be temporarily paused from February 6th, 12:00 UTC. Now, while we wait for the time when the airdrop, that the Tapswap airdrop will be paused temporarily, so I want to use this avenue to let us know some of the things that can be done before that time to maximize our rewards. Now, if we go to the itself, now if we go to the app itself, now for us to be able to look at some of the things that we need to do in order to maximize our reward, let us look at this section. Let us look at this section of the app. Now we'll click on it. Now, if you look at what is contained there, these are some of the requirements, some of the key points that will be considered when distributing their token. Now, the first one is the number of shares, the number of taps, the number of leaks, Tapitown achievements, completed tasks, and end blocks. Now, you may think there is no time, but believe me, within these few hours or before we get to the time when this airdrop will be paused or suspended temporarily, we still have some things that can be done for us to maximize our reward. Now, in the first one, they say number of shares. Now, you click on N. You click on N. This is N, or we'll go to N. Now, when you go to N, now in the first one, it said the number of shares. So when you talk of number of shares, that's the number of shares. Now, for us to maximize this, I don't know whether you've completed your videos. Now, if you go to where you have cinema, like in my own case, I only have one. So if I click on it and watch the video, that means I'll be able to get 400,000 points. Now, the next one, they said number of taps. So we still have time to tap. Now, in case if your this thing have elapsed, you still have the opportunity of going to boost. This boost, click on it. Then in my own case, I've exhausted my daily boost, so I can watch any of these adverts in order for this thing to be increased. That's for this session to be increased. Now, the next one, which is what the number of leaks. Now, this is the section for leaks. So I don't know which level you are in. Some of us are already at the final stage, which is the mythic league. But as you can see, I'm still in the legendary league. So, but from one of the key points, your level or the stage, your leagues matters a lot. So some are already at the final stage. So if we are yet to get to the legendary or the mythic league, endeavor to do that before the time. I pray that I'll be able to, I just hope that I'll be able to get to that stage. As you can see, what I have here is 41,026,430. So I say need more shares or point for me to be able to get to that stage. What I need there is a maximum of 50 million. So now go to the next one, which is what? Which is Tapi Town achievement. Now, in case you don't know, this is the Tapi Town. This is the section for that. This is the section for that. You click on it. Here in your Tapi Town, if you look around, you will notice that we have several buildings. We have several buildings or several hubs or several different or sections in the Tapi Town. Now, what you are expected to do in this case is to ensure that you accumulate points for each building or each section of the Tapi Town. Like if you look at here, this is the point for this, this is the point for this. Now at the end of the day, each one has a maximum of 20 points, and you are expected to get to that 20 points. Now if you look at what you have in your drop section, one of the key points or one of the criteria in allocating or that will be considered when it comes to allocation of token is your Tapi Town achievement. And what are those achievements? So these are those achievements. These are those achievements. These are those achievements. So you should endeavor to, like in my own case, you will notice that I still have some sections that are not yet completed. In fact, there are about 8 that have not completed. But at least try to see that you have at least 10, 11, 12 sections of the Tapi Town all completed or more than that. Now, how do you achieve this? There are several ways you can achieve this. And again, I must tell you that this is very, very important. Now, why this Tapi Town is very, very important is that there are a lot of other criteria that are tied to this Tapi Town. For instance, you have your blocks, you have your gym, and to a large extent you have your the section indicating the number of videos that you've watched. Now, the higher the point you've achieved in your Tapi Town, the higher the number of blocks that you will accumulate at the end of the day. Now, let me give you an example. If I click on this, let's click on this one that I've completed. If I click on it, now notice that you have 3,230 blocks. That's the mining rate. That's the number of blocks that you'll be accumulating is 3,230 per hour. Now imagine that you've completed this whole thing. That means each of these sections will be accumulating blocks for you. So you now see why I said that to a large extent that this Tapi Town that is connected to some of these criteria. Then another one that is very, very important is the gems in your possession. So what do we mean by gems? That's this. Now you realize that if you want to increase the rate at which you complete each of this section of the tapetum, like in this case where I have 6, we realize that you need what? You need more gems. Like here, you notice that I don't have enough. What I have here is 23. Now, if you look at this particular one that has 20, you will notice that I'm yet to complete this one. Now, assuming I want to fasten it, I want to complete it within few seconds. Now, if I click on it, notice it said to speed up, I need what? 35 gems. Now, notice that this particular portion is not highlighted. Now, why is not highlighted is because the gems in my possession is not up to that amount. Now, if I want to complete that, there are options. I can go to the market and acquire more gems. Now, how do I do that? If you look at this section, you click on it. Now, when you click on it, it will take you to the market. Now, I don't know if I have enough ton in my wallet to do this, but let's give it a try. It said I will need 0.157 blah 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 ton for me to acquire this gem. So it's saying insufficient, so which means it's not possible. Now, assuming that I was able to do that, that means when you add 30 to this 23, it becomes what? 53. So when you go back and click on this, you will notice that this portion, you notice that this portion will be highlighted, and the moment it's highlighted, that means you have enough gems to speed up the process. But since we don't have enough, that means you may have to allow it to what? Allow the time to elapse, which may take more time. If you pay attention, you will notice that you have like 5 hours more to complete this session. So if you have the resources, you have the tons, you can even complete these processes within few hours or before the hour for the Taps airdrop to be suspended. Now, another section that is very, very important is this section, the number of videos that you've watched. Now, you need this video because there are some sections, even though I've completed some of this building, there are some buildings for you to be able to complete them. It will require you may have to sacrifice some of the cinemas or videos that you've watched on YouTube. Now, but there are ways that you can, bypass it, because usually when you sacrifice the video that you've watched, you mean that this one will keep what? The video that you watch will keep deducting. Now you can increase the number of your videos by going back to this section. You can go back to this section, click on it. Now go up, you see where they write buy 10 cinema points. So if you have the resources, you have the ton, you can go ahead and do what? Increase the number of what? The cinema that you have. So that is it. So we'll now go back. So the next one, they said completed task. Now we'll go to the section for task. This is the section for task. We click on it. Now for section, under the section for task, you will notice that we have what? We have different tasks to be performed. We have your cinema, We have your special task. Please take note of this special task. Then we have your leaks, and we have your what? We have your referrals. Referrals are the people that have invited. So now click on this one. This one is the number of videos, number of YouTube video that you've watched. In this case, we've watched only, we still remain, we still have one, even though there are so many that I didn't watch which may have expired, but I've been able to watch some. So in this case now, this one was uploaded this evening, so I still have one. Then another section, you go to spatial. Now if you go to spatial, make sure that you complete this section. It's very, very important. Make sure. And how do you know that you've completed it? By you seeing this the green, there it will tick green to indicate that you've completed this section. Then next one, you have leak. So this is the final stage. I'm now in mythic stage. So unfortunately, it's not yet completed. So we'll go to the next one criteria, which was the number of end blocks. Now this is your end blocks. If you go back to your Tapit town, this is the blocks they are referring to. So the number of blocks. So you see why I said that all these things, they are tied together. So the more you complete your task in your Tapit town, the more blocks that you have or you accumulate, because each of these building, they are supposed to be accumulating blocks for you. Like if you look at this one, it said the mining rate 3,230. So take note, 3,230. That's the number of blocks it will be accumulating for you. Now if you go to this one, that is 6 in number. This one is 6 in number. When you click on it, you will notice that the number of blocks is not much. It's 660 blocks per hour. That's the mining rate. So which is very small. So which means if you're able to complete this, the rate, the number of blocks that you'll be accumulating will be higher. So now you've been able to highlight some of the criteria that may likely be used. I use the word may likely because if you look at the information that was released, it said this is the first stage. So we don't know what may be coming up next. So who knows? Maybe it may be the final stage. In this case, maybe this may be the snapshot, or maybe they may take us to another stage that may require us maybe doing some other task. So let's just wait until we've exhausted until the time have elapsed. But until then, make sure that you try to see if you can accumulate more points, more shares, and if possible, increase your level. So now you've known all these things, please kindly like my video, share your thoughts in the comment section. How many levels, how many shares, how many achievement videos that you've watched? Please kindly share it in the comment section. Please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you once more.